Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just read out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come to the house. And this is the second straight game the Celtics held the Mavericks under 100 points. And something I really want to talk about in this first clip, especially, is the Mavericks 3-point attempts. And in this game, they were 6 for 26 from 3, which is 23%. And it's really interesting to see how their 3-point attempts have dipped since the regular season. So in the regular season, they averaged 39 attempts per game, which of course is only second most of the Boston Celtics. In the Western Conference part of these playoffs, so the first 3 rounds, they average about 34 attempts per game. I know it's only 2 games in these finals, but in the first 2 games, they've only averaged 26.5 threes per game. And they only attempted 5 corner threes in this game. And I think they only attempted 5 in the first game. Corner threes were a huge part of their offense along with the lobs in these playoffs. And the Celtics have taken both of those away completely, and then you couple that with the 15 turnovers and the 10 steals by the Celtics. And in my defensive video about game 1, a lot of things I talked about with the Celtics game plan and discipline, right? And it's, if the Celtics go single big, our big will be guarding either Derrick Jones Jr., PJ Washington, and now that it's extended to Josh Green and Maxi Kleber. If any of those 4 guys set a screen and they pop to the 3-point line, the Celtics will legit neglect them. They will not go out to them. They won't contest a lot of times. They will just let those 4 guys do what they have to do, and they will put 2 on Kyrie or Luka and force them to pass the ball out to those guys, and they have to make the play. And I said before this series even started, I said PJ Washington might have a game where he's like 6 for 8 from 3, and he can have a huge game just like he did in that OKC series. It just won't phase Joe Mazzulla. It just won't phase him. And this is, to me, a really good game plan. Now, Luka Doncic, of course, is going to go off regardless, but you really shut the water off on Kyrie Irving with this kind of scheme. You have Drew Holiday navigating screens. You have Jaylen Brown on them. You have Derek White on them. And those switches aren't going well for Kyrie Irving in this series so far. And here we got Drew Holiday forcing a steal on Kyrie Irving. And here we got some more defense on Kyrie Irving by the Celtics. Derek White just completely swallowing this drive up. Kyrie does a little hesitation move. Derek White is able to recover with his cat-like quickness and the length he has over Kyrie Irving and blocks it out of bounds. And an adjustment that the Mavericks made on offense in game 2 opposed to game 1 is that they were allowing guys other than Luka and Kyrie to bring the ball up a lot more. So they were trying to get Luka and Kyrie off the ball to start possessions. And I wouldn't say it was a horrible idea, but on this specific play and a play later in the game, Derek White pressuring Josh Green, who, if you're going to have anybody bring the ball up other than Luka in this lineup, I guess it'll be Josh Green, right? You have Lively, Derrick Jones Jr., and Kleber. Derek White does an amazing job pressing Josh Green and force him to get the ball out of his hands, because that means Maxi Kleber is taking the ball up. And then, for some reason, he decides to go all the way to the basket on Kristaps Porzingis, and he blocks it. All right, so here the Mavs go to the empty side pick and roll. I'm guessing this was for Gavin to get the switch on White and for him to post up, because as he gets this matchup and he clears out of the post position, Kyrie Irving is going to look a little unsure of what Gavin doing. He's going to be like, hey, I thought you, right there. He was like, hey, I thought you were going to post up. But then it just turns into an ISO on Jaylen Brown, and this is not good for Kyrie Irving. You got Jaylen Brown using his strength and his quickness, sliding his feet, and getting in front of Kyrie Irving to get the turnover. And this was just perfect game plan discipline by the Boston Celtics on this play. And the Mavericks lineup right here actually helps that a lot. So here we got Horford on Josh Green. We got our wing Jaylen Brown on Daniel Gafford. We have Kristaps Porzingis on Maxi Kleber. So usually when the Celtics are in single big, it's, you know, somebody guarding Josh Green, PJ Washington, Derrick Jones, or Maxi Kleber. We are in double big right now. And the Mavs lineup helps our game plan so much, because when you look out on the floor and you think about how the Celtics have played all these players, the Mavericks have 4 people on the court right now that the Celtics don't respect from 3, because our big plays on PJ Washington, and if he pops out to the 3-point line, we don't check him. Same for Josh Green, same for Maxi Kleber, and Gafford can't shoot. So the only person that the Celtics respect from 3 right now is Kyrie Irving. Then you're going to see great defense by Derek White, forces Kyrie to bobble the ball a little bit. He passes it to PJ Washington. Again, they don't respect Kleber, right? He hasn't played in a long time. He's a little bit rusty. So Pete Porzingis this whole time just not respecting Kleber and roaming on this possession. You see PJ drives and he's right there to help. Kleber's wide open. He doesn't even pass to him at first. Then he kicks it out. And then again, you got Porzingis baiting Maxi Kleber to shoot the ball, going back to help on that Kyrie Irving cut, forcing Kleber to shoot. He doesn't want to shoot it. And then the Mavericks get all the way to 2 seconds on the shot clock. Kleber finally has to shoot it and they miss it. And something I also talked about in game 1 was how well they defended on those switch possessions. And the matchups that the Mavericks came into this series wanted to exploit. So if that was Al Horford and pick and rolls, if that was KP and pick and rolls, if that was the size of Peyton Pritchard, those guys defended their asses off in game one. And Peyton Pritchard, especially in this game, played so well on the defensive side of the ball. Here, we're just going to appreciate his one-on-one defense on Kyrie Irving. Knock him off his line, moving his feet really quickly and not going for that half spin turnaround, and contests it beautifully. And the Celtics had so many pivotal plays in transition on defense. Just the sheer hustle of these guys. They really show that they want to win a championship. They're not just talking about impressors. They're going out and they're hustling and they're showing that they want to win the championship on the floor. So here we got a 2-on-1 fast break, right? You got Luka Doncic and Lively on Derek White. Then you got the hustle of Al Horford and Peyton Pritchard being able to get back into this play. Luka Doncic actually is just helping this because he's just jogging, trying to, I don't know what he's doing. All right, so at first you got Derek White going straight up, walling Luka Doncic. You got Al Horford helping. He has to dump it off to Lively, who has Pritchard on him. Horford sees he has Pritchard on him. He goes to help him, and transition stops when you have numbers is really demoralizing for the offense. And you're going to see Luka Doncic right here. As soon as he sees that Al Horford has the ball and has possession, he's going to dip his... He's going to be demoralized and he has to get back. And again, more perfect game plan discipline by the Boston Celtics. What I talked about earlier, when Derrick Jones Jr. is going to set this screen, if he pops, they're going to neglect him. So you got 2 on Luka. They're going to force him to make the pass to Derrick Jones Jr. And watch Derek White. That's Derrick Jones Jr. I'm just let bro shoot that. And again, the Celtics transition defense, you got the Mavs pushing, Jaylen Brown post the ball, and defense really led to offense in this game. Here, Al Horford with a nice pass to Drew Holiday. And I really like this possession, and it's because I was thinking about past Celtics teams, and I was trying to compare and contrast the defense from this team and the defense of past Celtics teams, and especially last year, right? I think the thing that really haunted the Celtics on the defensive side of the ball last year was off-ball defense. There was so many times where they overreacted to people they shouldn't have overreacted to. There was times where they just gave up stuff that they didn't need to give up, and they could have just played straight up defense and they would have been fine because they had the personnel for it. Especially in 2022, that was the best defense I've ever seen post trade deadline and through the finals. That season where Smart won Defense Player of the Year should have went to Rob if he was healthy. And Rob just roamed and changed everything for the Celtics defense. But again, the game plan discipline. You let Derrick Jones Jr. do whatever he wants. Watch how absolutely no other Celtic moves except for Derek White while Derrick Jones Jr. has the ball. No overreacting to a Derrick Jones Jr. drive. Again, bro, I swear to you, I've been watching this team for a long time. And especially in these last few playoff runs, I've been watching avidly and I've been talking to you guys about the things that I've been seeing. They would overreact to guys that don't deserve overreactions and then leave things open for no reason. Celtics do a phenomenal job here, not helping on anything that Derrick Jones Jr. does, and they force a miss by PJ Washington. This video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It is the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. With PrizePicks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a PrizePicks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stats projections and you're locked in. When the finals are over, the hoops action doesn't stop on PrizePicks. Women's basketball is just getting started with young stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese looking to make names for themselves alongside greats like Breanna Stewart and Aja Wilson. You could win up to 100 times your cash watching them ball out. I've been using PrizePicks for about 2 years and have won a pretty penny in that span, mostly doing basketball and football. Once again, download the app today and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. All right, so here's just some more good game plan discipline by the Boston Celtics, but we're going to start this possession off by praising some Drew screen navigation. Man, if I could do anything in life as good as Drew Holiday navigate screens, I think I'll be okay. So here we got Kleber trying to set an off-ball screen for Kyrie Irving. Drew completely slips the first one, and then he tries to set a second one, and Drew's going to top lock this screen right here and make Kyrie Irving come off this way instead of coming off out to the wing. And Drew Holiday blows that action up, and now it just turns into a Maxi Kleber, Luka Doncic pick and pop. And of course, you know the game plan by now. We're going to neglect Maxi Kleber as the popper, and we're going to force Luka Doncic to make this play. And with about 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are the ones not taking a late shot clock shot. We are extremely fine with that. And as we're leaving Kleber open, Jason Tatum anticipates the behind the back pass from Luka Doncic because he's only going to the baseline. He gets his hand in the passing lane, and the Mavericks foul. And this was just a great job of stopping the ball by Derek White. And then there is some game plan discipline at the end of this, but this right here, Kyrie just runs into the wall that is Derek White. Then you got him dribbling right into Kristaps Porzingis. Again, he's checking Derrick Jones Jr., so he's not worried about that. He's going to help on Kyrie Irving, make sure he gets the ball out of his hands. Again, they're leaving Derrick Jones Jr. open. They're going to force Kyrie and Luka to make those plays, and Kristaps acts like he's going to contest. He just puts his hands up, and Derrick Jones Jr., of course, airballs. The Celtics, especially in the second half, really specialize in turning defense into offense. They got some really good stops, and it turned to really easy bugs for them on the other end. And here you got Tatum switched onto Luka Doncic. Tatum did a much better job on those switches on Luka and Kyrie in the second half. He got some really important stops and forced some really good turnovers here. Luka Doncic throws a dumb overhead pass to Jaylen Brown, and Jrue Holiday gets an easy dunk. And then when we come up back to the offense, you're going to see the game plan discipline by the Boston Celtics. Of course, we have Tatum on Derek Lively. He's going to come set this screen, and they're going to switch this. And you're going to see KP, right? Who's he guarding? Josh Green. So what does that mean? Complete negligence for Josh Green. KP's not even going to acknowledge that he's on the basketball court right there. So he passes out to Josh. Whoa, what is the... Whoa, Luka. What's Luka on? Hold up. Did he just... Yo, what? Hold up. Jaylen Brown not doing nothing illegal right now. He just got his hand on Luka, trying to make sure he not going away. And look at Luka, bro. What's going... What? Hey, I guess that's Luka for you, but of course, KP, as Josh Green catches the ball, not even contesting, not even worried about that. That's what the Celtics won, and he missed the three. And a big part of our game one defense was the rim protection by Kristaps Porzingis. He does a nice job here, a good pass by Luka Doncic, but you're going to see Kristaps Porzingis here, right? He has Dante Exum in the corner. He's going to see this pass come off of Dante Exum off the corner and get there in time to block this shot by Gafford. All right, so the Mavericks ended up scoring on this possession, but just the pressure that the Celtics applied on Luka Doncic was beautiful. So here you got you got JB on his hip the entire time. You got him struggling to get through picks. Then you got the switch on Al Horford. Al Horford does a nice job. Luka's gonna run right into Jason Tatum, gets stuck right here, picks up his dribble, and honestly, PJ Washington makes a great cut, and he just makes an amazing, that is a pinpoint pass out of a struggle, and PJ scores. But it was just incredible defense by the Boston Celtics, and that pressure that they applied really got to Luka Doncic in the fourth quarter. And you got our defense leading to offense again, and we kind of saw the same exact play in game one where Derek White and Peyton Pritchard double team Luka Doncic, got an easy steal, and again, Celtics get the steal, they're in transition, their defense leads to easy offense for Jaylen Brown. And one more time, I just want to show some love to Peyton Pritchard. He probably had the biggest shot in this game, and his defense on Luka and Kyrie in this game was excellent, and he forced the miss by Luka here. All right, so the Celtics just play really good defense this whole possession all around. You see Kyrie Irving pointing to Luka Doncic. He wants PJ Washington to set an off-ball screen for him. He sets it, but watch how Derek White blows this up. Blows that up. He doesn't pass it to him, so now it just turns to a Kyrie Irving ice on Jrue Holiday. And we know how this go, man. Jrue Holiday and Derek White have just been making it look easy guarding Kyrie Irving in isolation situations, and it is far from that. But they have just done an amazing job on Kyrie Irving in this series. Jrue Holiday makes Kyrie Irving pass out to Luka Doncic at half court with about 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Looked like some contact here, but it didn't get called, and the Celtics forced a miss. All right, so in an earlier clip, I talked about how an adjustment the Mavericks made on offense, which was having PJ Washington and some other guys bring the ball up more, opposed to Luka Doncic or Kyrie Irving, just so they can start off ball on some possessions. And this play really bit them in the ass. So here you got Jrue Holiday walling up PJ, and he tries to pass it back to Luka Doncic, but the cat-like quickness of Jrue Holiday deflects the ball. Now, the Mavericks have exactly 1 second to get this ball across half court. 17 seconds on the shot clock, 1 away from being a backcourt violation. Luka Doncic, of course, is not going to get this ball up in time dribbling on Jrue Holiday, so he has to pass it up. Derek White reads it, and again, just another great two-way possession by Jrue Holiday. Big time plays, and he knocks the three down. And then we're going to go right back on the offensive possession. He picks up Kyrie Irving and watch the screen navigation. I thought Daniel Gafford got a good hit on him, but look, Jrue Holiday just not... The strength and the quickness, the slitheriness on the screen navigation to get past this and get right back on Kyrie Irving, and then he contests a three. And again, as I said earlier, Jason Tatum did a much better job in the second half guarding Luka and Kyrie in these ISO situations, got some turnovers, and he forced a really big one here with about 2 minutes left in the fourth. And I talked about transition defense in an earlier clip where it was a 2-on-1 with Luka Doncic and Derek Lively against Derek White, and then you had Al Horford and Peyton Pritchard busting their ass to get back on defense, and they got that stop. This is sheer will and hustle and the want to win the championship. not talking about impressors, not just saying it, but showing it. You're going to see Derek White and Jaylen Brown in the corners right now. As soon as they see that the Mavericks have the ball, it's a dead sprint by both of them. Sheer will, sheer hustle, the sheer want to win a championship, doing whatever it takes. And of course, I've been seeing a lot of Mavericks fans on Twitter saying that this is a foul. On the first look, it did look like it was some sort of foul because Brown has his hand on him, and it looks very soft. But Jaylen Brown, again, is 6'6", a really strong guy. But there was another angle where, one, not only did not look like a foul by Jaylen Brown, but PJ Washington took off way too early, and he was never going to get this dunk off. He got stuffed by the rim before we even got to the ball. But just a great block by Derek White and Jaylen Brown, and that really saved the game for us. But that is a video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just read out there a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. But this is Nick. Peace.